nonetheless.
It's definitely going to be a way different pace, man. All I know about BrianYi is that he camped me out as hard as I've ever been camped out in my entire life in any game I've ever played. When I played him in tournament in, what was it? I forget what tournament it was.
Oh my gosh.
But he literally running on one platform on Trophy's edge and just jumped repeatedly and was just sitting on the platform. So I'm curious if we're going to see that type of gameplay again or not. I think Uzi can deal with it. Hopefully he has a lot more patience than I did dealing with BrianYi. That's what I'll say.
Where's J Mafia and Aris? Have they not found broken enough mechanics yet? Meanwhile, Aris is sitting in winner's side of semis. That's so funny. Anyways, game number one, getting to start for both players, right? You're gonna see BrianYi with a lot of these nairs, right? Shaggy doesn't have access to that dash jab anymore that we know him for. Not that he doesn't have access to it, right? But the shields make it a lot harder. And both these players are so quick to scrap off stage. Uzi wants BrianYi out there so he can't really get pressured by that dash jab. BrianYi, though, the god of parries, is gonna try his best to make it as hard for Uzi as possible to get this early stock. Alright. Both players kind of just fishing, right? BrianYi going for a lot of these nairs, hits another one, catches Uzi's early dodge in with that reverse nair that we know him for, and Uzi ends up dying, floats to the blast zone, and just doesn't manage to make it back, despite having the options to do so. Alright.
Yeah, that was very surprising. You don't see that often from Uzi. He is known for having one of the best offstage games, but right there, Uzi evening it up just like that.
Took 55%, not a great number, right? 50% can be the difference in a lot of these games. But again, getting that stock back is what matters, and he's already gotten 27% on BrianYi's next one. Alright, gets that down to a combo. Great DI up on BrianYi to get out of the ground bound situation. BrianYi, though, missing that up special read, and we're gonna get another combo up from Uzi. Alright. BrianYi, as you were talking about earlier, is so comfortable to just sit on platforms and wait while holding shield. As we know, this does have counterplay, but it gets hard when he also has access to the options that Shaggy does.
Absolutely. I would just real quick chat for PFG watching. Make sure to add a tent emote in there for you know, to call out the people that are camping. I think that'd be a really good one. Great command grab from Uzi. Let's see, are we gonna pressure? We thought about it, but then we're going back. Still, really great pressuring from Uzi.
Yeah, definitely. Right. BrianYi just going off stage, running off stage, going for the down air, knowing Uzi loves to sit at the bottom of the blast zone, waiting to shark him out, but doesn't let Uzi really get any complacency in this stock. 40% already. 55% last time. Let's see how quick Uzi can trade this back, and he takes less damage than last time, but again, still 40% down as we go into this last stock of game number one.
Right, good command grab right there, and we're trading. We're getting a lot of Shaggy nairs, of course. We're shielding it and actually getting the punish. I love to see that. Another Shaggy nair coming out, though. That's just what Shaggy's gonna keep on doing, man. Uzi in burnout, but making his way back, man. Oh, the Shaggy knee, putting Uzi in a bad spot right now.
There's so much damage. Uzi not at kill percent for Shaggy. I mean, both players right at that percent where they start to get really scared of each other's options, right? A jab might kill on Shaggy at this percent, and Uzi might be able to get that up tilt up air that we've seen him get stock number one with. They're both searching for their options, right?
Oh my
BrianYi
god.
tries to charge a full haymaker, can't get it, goes off stage for what killed Uzi in stock number two, can't get it. Uzi gets the grab in return, and now he's up for the first time in this game so far. He needs to be able to get this conversion, but he is in burnout. Gets sent off stage by BrianYi, who has a sandwich, misses the dare. Off stage, runs off stage, gets back. What can he do? And the down air into up special is enough to take game number one.
Absolutely, really well played right there from BrianYi. Uzi made a bit of a comeback, earned his way back, but then BrianYi just ready to get the finish, man. Good conversion. Just held Uzi on that wall for too long. Uzi had to burn so much dodge meter to get back and had to eat a down air for it as well. That converted into the kill. Game one going to BrianYi. Let's see what happens with this game two.
Yeah, definitely. All right. we're in game number 2. And I mean, honestly, it was really close for both sides, right? Either team could have realistically won that. Uzi losing both stocks early, making that comeback. But again, BrianYi just clutching up in that final stock.
Does need to be said too. Different stage. We went from
oh my God.
trophies to
wow,
sky
what
flats.
a triple shield. That was such a good triple shield from Uzi there. Or from BrianYi, right? Oh my God, they're both so patient.
Absolutely. Still not seeing shield breakers come out, more just other options.
Yeah, they're really feeling each other out here, right? Shield breakers are kind of also a hard read tool, right? You can throw them out, but not everyone's as safe, especially against characters like Shaggy and Superman. So just holding shield and trying to get these punishes without it is so important.
Great side special right there from Uzi, fighting his way back. Let's see. But BrianYi coming in with the down air. And getting the jab, that should do it. That will get the kill for BrianYi. Charging up the rage mode, 77% on him. Can't land the charge kick, but still a lead for Brian. Good patience around Uzi's shield, just not throwing out an attack. Getting a good amount of damage on the Shaggy.
There are a lot of misconceptions about shields being this unapproachable object, but we see there that you don't even need to attack a shield to play around it, right?
Absolutely.
BrianYi's so comfortable to just kind of just jump around it, and you still get the punish after because you have to drop shield eventually. You can't do it forever, and BrianYi just showing that counterplay around shields that we love to see. And the parry into the reverse knee is enough to do it. The parry was absolutely amazing by BrianYi. Uzi answering back with a quick sniper punch of his own. But now he's down a full stock in game number 2. How will he make it back?
Alright, looking really good for BrianYi right now. Adding up the damage on Uzi.
I mean, Shaggy, even with those recent Season 4 nerfs, right? You're still seeing him be able to amount so much damage early, right? He still has so much of that explosivity that we know him for. But Uzi trying to answer back with an explosive stock of his own. Gets that downer, has him in a bad spot off stage, but again, he's taking 72%, and that shield breaker is gonna put him in such a bad spot. Shaggy in burnout, gets that jab, up special, up air, up special, true, and you die so early as Superman. Amazing play from BrianYi punishing that burnout. And that
Absolutely, and it's looking like it might be time for the Batman for Uzi. Honestly, surprised we didn't start with this. I feel like Uzi normally likes to go Batman in this matchup in particular. It definitely seems Batman does really well against Shaggy, but either way, down 2-0, it is time to bring it out. Let's see if this is going to be enough to help Uzi make the comeback, or will Brian just dispose of the Batman?
Yeah, I really think that, like, even though I think Batman is maybe a little bit better than Superman, I feel like sometimes, like, the games were super close, right? You may feel like the disadvantage is pretty rough, right? And then you take a lot of damage. But I think Uzi could have arguably won game 1, and I mean, even though game 2 wasn't as close, it was still very possible for him.
The difference really was that parry off stage, and he got the early kill with the knee, so it didn't seem close at the end, but it's just because the early stock that Shaggy was able to take.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Uzi's Batman, though, very impressive from what I've seen. BrianYi already putting himself in burnout. Let's see what Uzi can do with that.
Alright, Sarah2 gets that down air, forces him off stage. BrianYi, though, out of burnout, trying to get the nair. But again, that higher mobility on Batman, letting him kind of float between the attacks. That's one of the main differences, right, between Batman and Superman. Superman not as fast in the air as Batman normally. Even though you can dodge boost your attacks and stuff, that increased aerial momentum on Batman matters a lot. But again, wow! I mean, he goes into burnout there. He tries ID staring in, but just gets stuffed out and absolutely punished by BrianYi there. But that's with that conversion.
Good dash attack from Uzi. Just gotta say, I hate Shaggy dash attack. No, he's dead at 0. He's dead at 0.
Oh my gosh! Right? Oh. And he just GG go next. I mean,
but there is no next.
I know. There's no next. It's over. That's 3-0 on the set. I mean, that's a pretty convincing throw for Brian. 2 different parry into Sares. I mean, 2 different parry into Sares there. It's just so massive. It's definitely the difference between a victory and defeat there. Wow.
Wow. Shout out Uzi, man. Always a phenomenal player to watch. I love watching Uzi every time. The Batman and the Superman. Very valiant effort, but not enough to overcome Brian. He advancing with the Shaggy in dominant 3-0 fashion. Well played from Uzi, though. Always appreciate him coming out and competing in these tournaments. Always a pleasure to watch. let's hop right into winners side, top 8.
Mods versus theirs, probably?
No, we're gonna go with
Oh, the other way?
Oog versus Girthquake.
Alright.
First, been waiting a little bit longer, and I got the invite from Oog
That's fair.
first. So we'll do that first.
Maybe.
Alright. Get Girthquake in here, and we can see arguably 2 top characters right now, man. Agent Smith versus Harley.
I mean, both characters obviously absurdly good in ones right now. It'll be interesting to see how the shields really impacts this matchup. Because I feel like before, Harley on the ground, you could down tilt maybe, but again, Agent Smith just has such overwhelming presence on the ground, where it gets really hard to do anything.
Yeah, this is interesting too, because I'm pretty confident we saw this exact matchup in the last Schwifty Showdown. But,
Really?
yeah, obviously without shields, so now the matchup should be very, very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see how it plays out. I believe it was very close last time they played.
I can imagine it would be super close.
I feel like it was.
Buster, that is not true. The devs have actually actively nerfed Agent Smith in most patches of the game. The one thing they haven't really touched is Jab 1, but everything else has pretty much gotten adjusted in some way or form.